Hello, Keith here with Math Fun and Games. It's been a while since I've done videos, but I'm starting to get back into it. The first game I'm going to play today is I'm going to continue the series of playing PanzerLeader. We're going to do scenario 10 of PanzerLeader, Operation Market Garden, Arnhem. The goals for the Germans have to take control of this town right here. One moment, let me move that up. And I'm going to go slowly because it's been a while since I did this. But there, you see that town, and the Germans have to take control of that town. And the British are going to try to hold that town. I think that's supposed to be Arnhem. Well, I'm not really sure. But like I said, it's been a while. I've read through the rules again. We're using quick time, movement for infantry, opportunity fire, and PanzerBlitz assault optional rules. We're not using any of the experimental rules. I'm gonna start over. I don't know if I did a video of this, but I have to start over everything because I just basically took my computer and just reinitialized it, and I've been playing with it for a while, so it should be it should be good because I've been using it for a while in its reinitialized state. Okay, so I'm gonna have the rules for Panzerleader right here. I'm gonna go through the sequence of turns. Take my time, go through a sequence of turns because it's been a while. I think what I'm gonna do is continue to play the Panzerleader scenarios. When I get done on the Imaginative Strategist website, there's a whole bunch of scenarios for PanzerBlitz that additional scenarios other than the originals, and there's scenarios for PanzerLeader other than the originals. I think I'm going to continue playing them right now, and I'm also going to do MBT. I'm going to continue get back to playing that. I also have Panzer North Africa. I'd like to do that, and I have a whole bunch of other games too that I haven't played yet that I want to play online. But right now, I think I'm going to play MBT. I'm going to focus on MBT and the PanzerBlitz, PanzerLeader scenario. So something old, something new. Okay, okay. Let's. So we got the Allied player combat phase, air phase, movement phase. All right. Okay, so the Allied player segment, the combat phase. Let me just make sure that the Allied player is going first. He sets up first. A second. Allied sets up first. German sets up second. And I just want to make sure. I mean, to me, it would make sense that the German player would go first. Allied player segment. Okay. All right. I think that the Allied player goes first all the time. Okay. It doesn't say anything. Special rules. So, yeah, it does seem that the Allied. Okay, so the Allied player, all right, what they can do, we can plot indirect fire. I'm not really going to use indirect fire much in this game, in this particular scenario, because the mortars are right in front. I could have actually put them in the center of the town, that open area in the center of the town, but I'm just going to leave them there. So the Allied players isn't going to, well, they do have some targets in the open. Let's see if I can hide the piece. Does this have a button where I can hide the pieces? Destroyed units window. It's an overview window. Okay. I don't think they have a hide the pieces button. I might add that later. Okay, plenty of targets, but the allies aren't gonna fire or do anything because they're on the defense. So movement, no allied. Now it's gonna be the German player. It's gonna be the same as the allied player. I'm just going through the sequence of play. So it's going to be the combat phase. Germans can plot indirect fire. There's no indirect fire. No minefield attacks. And no air phase. So now with German movement phase. Alright. So I want to get close. And again, I'm using quick time. So 1, 2. So they get extra space. But they have to roll to see if they're dispersed. 4, 5, or 6, they're dispersed. They get a 2, so they are not dispersed. And I believe I'm marking with quick time just to make sure that they don't do quick time again in the next turn. Quick time. Okay. Infantry may increase speed to 2 hexes. And they can't enter slope, woods, or town. They can't use world movement rate. You can use opportunity fire against them, but I don't want to do that. They roll 4, 5, or 6, and they're dispersed till the end of the current movement segment. And there's no prohibition on them using quick time. Doesn't seem that there's a prohibition on them on using quick time for 2 turns in a row, so it is what it is. Right. Okay. And again, these guys are going forward. 1, 2. I'm going to use it 2, and I'm going to roll. They're not dispersed. And these guys basically are coming forward just to be spotters for all the other, for the armor unit and for the heavy weapons, heavy guns. 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, let's go down here. Down here. So I'm moving for those of you who happen to be listening to this, or not watching it, is I'm moving my infantry next to the city because all the British units are in the town hexes. So I'm using my infantry into the cities to act as spotters. Okay, this has a rifle division in a vehicle. I'm just going to leave them back for the moment. 1, 2. I think I can leave them. Okay, so yeah, I got to roll. I didn't roll for them. Okay, so they're not A7, so they're not dispersed. Now I have 1 down here that I move to. They are dispersed till the end of the turn. Quick match disperse. There's the disperse button. And I gotta roll for, I have these 2, so I'm gonna go for, roll for, see if this one's dispersed. They're dispersed. And 1 more. And they're dispersed. Okay. So the units ran forward to spot for the armor. It's only ending to the current, so they'll be undispersed anyways after this. So there isn't a lot of penalty if you do close assault. There isn't a lot. If you do quick time, there isn't a huge penalty for doing that which is cool. Quick march. I always thought that they couldn't quick march 2 turns in a row. I'm looking at the rule here, and it doesn't say anything about that. So, movement, quick march. See, before I was doing it where they couldn't quick march 2 turns in a row. Any infantry unit may increase its speed to 2 hexes for the 1 movement phase with the following limitations. No, it doesn't say there's any prohibition on doing quick time more than 1 turn in a row. Okay, that's kind of odd, but okay. Okay, so all right, so I think that's gonna be it right now. I don't think the Allies have any other moves. Let me see my time. Okay, so we're at 11 minutes. All right, so that's going to be the end of the German player. Well, the Allies can do close assault. All right. So here's a spot they can do close assault. They can do 3 to 2 odds because they're 9 to 6. But the defender is in a town, but they're close assaulting. So let me look at the modifiers. So they're going to, for close assault, right? Adjacent to the defendant. So they get 2 from the dice roll. So they get 2 from the dice roll. Okay, so let's look at the terrain effectiveness chart of the weapon effectiveness. So it's infantry against armored, close assault attacks only. There's no modification, but it is -2. Now we'll look for the terrain effects modifier. That's the target elevation, terrain effects chart. Units in town. Add 1 to the attacker's die roll. So it's going to be a -1 to the die roll. So it's going to be 3 to 2 with a -1 to the die roll. Combat table. There isn't a 3 or 2, so it's going to be rounded to 1 to 1 with a -1. So it rolls in favor of the defense. So 1 to 1, we're going to get a 2, and the defender is dispersed, and all these units have fired. Okay, and that's the only close assault because everybody else is dispersed. So now I'm going to remove this dispersal from the places where it's dispersed, and we're going to go on to the second turn. So what happened was the Germans are surrounding a town. It's probably supposed to be Arnhem, I'm guessing. The Germans sent their infantry in first, attacked as spotters for the German armor. I actually left 1 unit over here, 1 infantry unit over there. I should have brought them forward. Oh well, let's just say that they were late for whatever reason. I should have brought them forward and spotted those 2. All right, so that's going to be the end of the first turn. We're going to go into the second turn. Where's my turn track? Where's my turn track? Okay, so we're gonna go. So the game's gonna end on turn 10, I believe. Right. Yeah. And we're gonna go into turn 2 now. Oop. Any game ends. The game's gonna be at the end of turn 10. I'm just gonna confirm that on the scenario card. Yeah, 10 turns. Okay, so now we have the Allied phase. Allied combat phase. Again, the Allies don't have any. I'm not going to be using indirect fire with them. There's no mines. There's no air. Allied movement. Just one question. When is dispersal removed? Okay, so here's an. Okay, so here's a longer turn sequence. So direct fire, indirect fire attacks, direct fire attacks, air, movement, and close assault. Movement, close assault. Again, I'm going. Well, I can actually pause this, can I? Let me pause it. Okay, so it is at the end of the close assault phase that the units are turned face up. Okay, so that unit, there's one British unit, it's dispersed. It's not going to be turned face up until the end of the Allied turn. So first is Allied combat. And do I have any Allied combat? I'm going to say no. I could have a 1-2 attack over here. Well, it could be had to be 1-1. No, 1-3. I have a 1-3 attack over there. It's a straight 1-3. It's going to be mortar versus infantry. So it's going to be mortar versus non-armored normal. So this piece will fire against that piece. And I need a 1 to have any effect. Even then, it's only going to be a dispersal. Okay, so no effect. They fired. Okay. Right here, I got a 2 and a 3. It's going to be 1-2 attack right here. Okay, I'm going to roll a 2 on a 1-2 attack. A straight up 1-2 attack. That will disperse that spotting unit. And mark this unit fired. And this unit fired. I have a couple 1-3 attacks right here, so I'm going to do these 1-3 attacks. I'm going to go this one against that one right there. It's going to be, no, 2-8. No, it's a 1-4 attack. Well, there's no point in doing it because I can't have any effects, so they're not going to. So they're going to. Okay. They're going to concentrate their fire, and they're going to do a 1-2 attack over here. And this one is going to fire. And this one is going to fire. So I have 2 infantry units, British infantry units that are in the city attacking 1 German infantry platoon that's attacking the city in the outskirts of the city. So it's going to be 1-2. So a 1 or a 2 will have an effect. It'll be just dispersal. I roll a 5, and a 5 has no effects. So I don't believe have. Well, let's see. I could have had that Yeah, I can attack that 1 to 4. No point. All right, so that's the only thing the Allies can do at this time. So I'm going to remove the dispersals. The fire. I should just use Control F. And then we're going to go on to the German turn. Okay. I can make this bigger so you guys have the overview of it, and I can use the overview window. So there you go. That makes things a lot better. And I can pull up. Do I have the overview window available in this app? Let's take a picture. Last site, zoom in, zoom out. Select zoom, mark everything is not moved. I don't see an overview window. So that's another thing I can add if I want to, just an overview window. Whoever wrote this module did an excellent job, but you know, you can customize it. Okay, so there you are. So now we're going into the German turn, no indirect fire. No indirect fire, no minefield. Now we have German direct fire attacks. Okay, so now we can do some direct fire. There's plenty of it. So over here I have, I'm going to go against this. Now these are going to be, this is an armored target. So if I fire this against that, and it's going to be armored against armored. This is going to be 8 to 6. Armored against armored. 1, 2, 3, half range or less, so it's going to be doubled. So just this one vehicle is going to be 16 to 6. Now, I have a 16 to 6 attack. Let's see what kind of firepower I can add. I can add that 15 over there. So if I add another 15, what's its range? 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be 46. So that's going to be 4 to 1 easily. So this unit's going to fire. This unit's going to fire. And it's going to be at a 4 to 1. I rolled a 5 with 4 to 1, rolled a 5. And that will eliminate that unit. Now that unit is in a town. Let me just see if there's a die roll modifier. Add 1 to attacker's die. Okay, so that's just going to be a heavy dispersal. Okay, that's fine because they're going to be, my infantry there are going to be able to do some close assault anyways. Should have had that. Well, it wouldn't have shifted the odds any, would it? Yeah, 4 to 1 plus. Okay, so now I go to the south side of the battlefield, and that unit is spotted. That's a howitzer though, so it's going to be 28 to 6. That's going to be a 4 to 1. He's going to fire at a 4 to 1. Mine +1 to the dice roll. And that unit is definitely eliminated. Send to destroyed screen. Okay, any other? We'll have a howitzer over here. And a howitzer against an armored target. Let's take a look. Because remember, the British infantry are in cities, and cities are considered armored targets. So howitzer against armored, a normal range at range of 6 or less. That is normal range. So it's going to be 10 to 6. So that's going to be 1 to 1 with a +1 die 5. So it's 1 to 1 with a 5, and that is no effect. Okay. And I do believe that is it. I will probably have some close assault for the Germans. All right, so now it's still the Germans' turn. Now it's the movement turn. So vehicles move first, then non-vehicles. Okay, so I like where my German vehicles are, so I'm not going to move the German vehicles. The infantry I'm going to move. It's going to go there. It's going to shift there. It's going to shift there. This unit, no, I'm going to keep him right here. And this unit right here is going to use quick time. 1, 2. I got to see if he's dispersed. He is dispersed. Okay. And this unit finally got his act together. He didn't move last turn, so 1, 2. I have to roll to see if he's dispersed. 4, 5, or 6, and he's dispersed. He is dispersed. Okay. That's all right. Still be able to spot next turn. And again, I got all my guns the where I want them. I got my armored the where I want them. I need them. I have an infantry and a half track over here. I don't want to bring it ahead yet. So, all right, so that's it for the remainder of the fire. Okay, yeah, so it's movement. And we're non-vehicular movement. All right, so I can enter, I can get a foothold in the city right here. That's going to be right there. That's going to be it right now. Okay. Now we're going to close assault. Don't believe I have any close assault. Well, right here, this one and that one. 2 platoons, that'll be 3 to 6. That'll be a 1 to 2 with a -2 for close assault, but with a +1 because the infantry is defending in a city. So it'll be 1 to 2 with a -1. I'm going to do a close assault there. So, no effect. So I'll just mark that fired. I think that's going to be the only... Yeah, I'm going to have the same case over here. We're going to have a 1 to 2 with a -1. And again, no effect. And we have... So I'm firing against... When was this dispersed? Oh yeah, that was from fire. So this one right here, I got 3, 6, 9 to 6. So I don't want to. So it's going to be this unit and this unit. I'm going to close assault this unit. It's going to be 6 to 6. It's going to be 1 to 1 with a -1. So 1 to 1 with the 3. Roll the 3. It's dispersed, but it's not a special dispersal, so it's fine. So he fired and he fired. So this one right here, it's going to be 1 to 1 with a -1. So it's going to be a dispersal. So he's going to be dispersed. He's marked fired. I don't have any other fires. I don't have any other close assaults. Alright, so the German infantry are now assaulting into this close assaulting into the city with cover from the German artillery. German armor and German artillery. So they're making their way into the city. And when we come back, we're going to be on the turn 3. I'll flip it. There we go. Oh, I'll flip it. There you go. We're going to be on Allied turn 3. My time on this is 30 minutes. I don't like to go over 30 minutes on my videos. So, okay, so that's it. It's good to be playing again. I'm going to have to remove the markers. Thank you very much for being patient with me. Oh, that one couldn't have fired. That one was just... Oh, okay, yeah. It's just fired. I thought it was marked dispersed. So, alright. So that's going to be it. Thank you very much. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.